redefining co-working.
Exceptional offices for every business.
This summer, eSpaces expands with 2 premier locations.
Cool Springs at Corporate Center and Brentwood at City Park.
Explore the private offices, team suites, and fully equipped meeting rooms.
Opening July 2025.
Limited spaces are available.
Schedule your private tour now at espaces.com and be sure to check out all 15 locations at espaces.com.
That's espaces.com.
espaces.com.
It's pretty simple. They want to turn on the radio and be able to listen to it with their kids in the car. They don't want to have to make a moral decision every time they go to pick a song. They don't want to get yelled at by, I don't know, Maren Morris. Like they don't want that
That's
level
a good one.
of.
One of our favorites.
Thank you. I figured that would be a welcome party there.
She's a regular on here.
She's a regular.
She's a regular on here.
Is there like a button? There's a money jar with that one. I feel like.
Can you still run for office if you're a spy?
Now that's a great question.
Does that?
That's a great question.
I don't even know that.
It was the
Take your
elephant
time
in the
on
room.
this.
I just don't know if that takes you out of the running. I got to check it out. There's some rules we have here.
Someone had
Yeah.
to take the air out of the balloon. This one gentleman was telling me about his experience coming home from Vietnam was already awful. You know, his sister didn't pick him up from the base. You know, nothing was really felt as it should be. And then years down the line, he heard that one of the Clinton aides, or I forget who it was. I used to know exactly who it was, but it's been a minute. One of the aides said on the news, you know, we sent the smart guys to Washington and we sent the dumb guys to Vietnam. And the fact that that's a soundbite that these men and ultimately men and women have to go back and listen to is despicable.
The Try That in a Small Town podcast begins now.
All right, y'all. This is the Try That in a Small Town podcast. We're back.
Yeah.
At the Patriot Mobile Studios, powered by eSpaces. Our new studio still looks really, really nice.
Real nice. Still got that new car smell.
God, it feels good.
Nothing's fallen. I hung it solidly.
Yeah?
Yeah, you did
Did an
good.
excellent job.
It is nice.
Your lovely wife did great.
Yep.
Getting everything hung and.
I know how to.
I didn't know that
I know
you
how
use
to
it.
insert a toggle bolt.
What's that?
Uh-oh.
A toggle bolt.
Taga or
See,
toggle?
No. I've always called them toggle bolts. You know, it's kind of like
Real men of genius.
real men of genius.
Interesting.
Okay.
Do y'all know what? Do any of you guys know what a hammer is?
Oh man.
Yes.
Come on.
Just checking.
Yes.
I don't know about Tully.
You have no idea. I am
Your
handy.
tech knows what a hammer
I am
is.
handy. I'm
Really?
Pretty handy.
Really?
Surprisingly handy. Yeah. So I mean, I grew up in a house with my grandmother and my mom, my aunt, I had to be a little bit handy.
What define handy?
Just fix things now and then, hang stuff, fix stuff,
Really?
build stuff. Yeah, not bad. I mean, I'm not a professional handyman, but I can fix
You
some stuff.
can figure it out.
Oh yeah, I actually enjoy it.
It is. It's like therapy.
I do. Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
I got a guy.
Well, I got a guy now, but I mean, I'm not a professional fixer. I mean, there's a lot of duct tape and crooked nails, but
Yeah,
okay,
one
you can
of
do
these
some
days we're
things.
gonna have you guys as guitar techs on, and you guys have to step out of the room. It's coming.
Believe me, we've heard what they say.
It's coming.
It's not pretty.
Mine knows not to speak to me, so it's fine. He won't have much to say.
Don't speak directly to Tully.
Just light my incense.
my God! Don't you look at me in the eye.
No, Tyler, I love you, buddy. You're great.
Hey, so tonight is going to be fun.
Yes.
We've got Alexis Wilkins.
Yeah.
She's a badass.
International woman of mystery.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's how
yes.
you could describe her. She is a country music singer. She's also a political commentator.
Actress.
Yes, that. She
I predict.
also is
I
a
predict.
press
I
secretary.
predict political future.
You know what?
She's sharp.
I really do.
I actually think you're right. Somewhere down the line.
Yep. Mm-hmm. She won't be looking for it. It's just going to happen. It's going to come along, and she won't have a choice. It's going to happen. She's too smart. Has too much class. She's just for her to ignore that.
I agree.
It's going to happen.
Yep.
She's very impressive, very intelligent, very well
A
spoken.
little too intelligent.
Yeah.
for our.
For my-
I know
our-
it.
Right.
Yeah.
We're
So-
batting 1,000 on people smarter than us.
Well, and two, we're humble and we do pretend sometimes not to know so much to make our guests feel even more knowledgeable.
Yeah. Because we're like,
so that's part of
It's
it.
key to any good host.
Yes,
making the guests feel
that's what
superior.
That's what I googled. You know, how to be a good host. Play dumb. You know.
I like it. It's going to be a great night. I think you guys are going to be. You're going to learn a lot, right, from Alexis. Let's do this before we go, though. You got to do us. You got to follow us on the socials. We're trying to build that X up.
You got to do us?
Yeah, that's how you can do it. Go on X, follow us.
I love that.
I know. Leave a comment. Get on Insta. Get on, what's the other one? The TikTok.
The old talk. We
The
call it
talk.
the
Is somebody
talk.
buying TikTok?
Yes.
What's going on with that?
I hadn't heard much lately.
Okay.
But MySpace. Follow us on MySpace.
Yeah, not on MySpace. I think, last I saw, we were doing pretty good there.
Follow us on all that. Download the episode. Leave us a comment on YouTube. Do all that kind of stuff. And here's Alexis Wilkins. Please welcome Alexis Wilkins.
Yes.
We got you while you were in Nashville. What's the time like Nashville, DC? Like where are you most? How do you split it up?
I'm still here a lot. You know, we kind of split it. You know, I'm there when I can be. He's here when he can be. We kind of figure it out and try to do an even split. But it's a little nuts right now. So I figure it'll level off eventually.
You know what I found out about you? Googling. That you are a press secretary. What? I didn't even know this.
What's that?
Is that a current thing?
Oh, good one.
No,
I didn't get
so
that. I didn't find that.
when Congressman Abe Hamaneh was first elected in office, I went into his press office and his office and just set up their comms department, got them going, and then ultimately, you know, I sing country music, I tour, I do political commentary, as you guys know, but I left that to the people who are experts at it. I just got
like
them
us
on a good path. But yeah, set the press office up, and they're awesome, and sent them on their way in the right direction. You know, trust in the right people in the right places.
Okay, so you mentioned country music. That's how we first knew of you and came to know you. Talk a little bit about that, how long you've been doing it, the passion, and how that's going right now.
Yes. So I suppose the long story short is that I started writing first. I was 6 years old, 6 or 7, and I read an article in Smithsonian magazine about the coal fires.
6 years old and you're reading Smithsonian?
Wait a minute. Jim, my Smithsonian.
I know, it's funny because it actually, my mom can actually attest to that. My mom is here today, and she can attest that this actually happened. But I was reading Smithsonian, and I came across an article about the coal fires in Pennsylvania, and I wanted to do something about it because it said somewhere in there that, you know, they had run out of money and they couldn't do anything to fix it. And so I said, well, that's unacceptable. You know, can we donate all of our money? My mom, you know, good lesson in capitalism was, no, we can't donate all of our money, but love where your heart is. People do something they love or are really good at, and they raise money for things that they believe in. And I said, great, I'm going to do that. And so I went on my American Girl doll tape recorder, and I wrote a little ditty that, weirdly enough, you know, my parents are not musical, had a verse and choruses and a bridge. And I recorded it, just vocals, on this tape recorder, and I brought it to my parents, who, again, are not musical, and they go, okay, awesome. Great. This is awesome. You know, what do we do with this? And my idea was, I want to put it on, you know, this new thing called iTunes, and I want to raise money for the cause that I set out to raise money for.
Hold on, this is while you're 6 years old?
That's when
Yeah.
Feeling pretty bad right now. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I was watching
I'm
Scooby-Doo.
feeling pretty bad right now.
I'm an only child. I didn't do bored super well. Was really never bored, and was encouraged not to be bored. Hence, reading a Smithsonian magazine. And so,
Where do you find that, by the way? That magazine?
It was.
Maybe a museum.
I think it was readily
available.
available in the house.
I read really young.
We have
I grew
highlights,
up in.
you know?
I mean, I can get more into this later, but I grew up in. I was born in the U.S. Thank goodness, but I grew up in Europe. I was in England, Switzerland for my parents' work, and then
Us too.
and then the rest was and then the rest was Arkansas, you know. And so I kind of danced around a little bit, had a lot of different perspectives, and again didn't do board well. So
Europe to
was reading
Arkansas.
at Smithsonian.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Europe
I
to
started
Arkansas.
writing then, and my parents didn't know, you know, exactly what to do with it. At that point, you know, this is a fun hobby that our daughter likes to do. And so we had a friend who was familiar with the studio in Nashville, and he said, oh, you know, let's go to Nashville, take her to Nashville. She likes this as a hobby, and she can do this for fun. And, you know, she doesn't have to do it, you know, full time. She's 8 or 9, you know, at this point. Now years pass, and just let her, you know, bring it to fruition and raise the money she wanted to with it, if that's what she wanted to do, and she'll get it out of her system. It'll be great. And I loved it. And that was my first, you know, Nashville recording experience. I was 9, and I fell in love with songwriting, fell in love with the town, fell in love with recording, and just honestly what you could do with country music. You know, for me, that was it. You can go out, you're telling me that I can do something I love, I can raise money for something I believe in, and ultimately do good. That I'm sold. I'm in it. And so from that point, you know, it was very much for me about the writing, and, you know, things morph as you get older. You learn about causes that you care about and what you want to support. And so as I got older, that morphed into me writing for other artists, me writing a little bit in the pop and hip hop world, because I knew I was young. I was offered to just basically, you know, here's your record, you should record it, you're 14, we'll put you on stage, you'll love it. But I wanted to, and y'all know how the entertainment industry can be, you know, my parents have protected me, thank goodness. And I didn't want to be told who I was, so I was writing for other artists, eventually knowing, of course, that I wanted to do country music, and circling back to that for myself. And working in that space and raising money for veterans organizations and things that I'm very passionate about now.
Did you really have a Florida cut? Did they? I read that. I thought, oh my God, because I was watching a lot of the videos first. And it's all country, America, flags and everything. And it says, well known for, you know, her role in Modern Family, and then also getting songs recorded by Flo Rida. I'm like, oh my God.
That is true.
I'd been doing it for 10 minutes. And I'm like, okay, I'm out of my depth here. So
funny. Yeah, that is true. I had a Flo Rida cut when I was young enough to be on set for the music video, and them go, who brought their kid? So it was pretty funny.
You were in the video too?
No, I just watched it.
Okay, I was like,
no, that was not going to get signed off on.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Not by me or by my parents, of course.
I didn't know that.
That's really cool.
I didn't either. Yeah. Learning something.
How long ago was it we wrote?
Oh gosh.
You know, I'm going to be sitting here during the show. I'm going to be looking for the work tape. I think I have it. I should have
When did you guys write together?
No, it was
probably
no, it was
5 years ago?
At least.
Oh my gosh, really?
That's crazy, yeah. Yeah.
Because you came to the house. Mm-hmm. That's when we lived in Brentwood in the 7 acres.
Yeah.
No, that was a small house, huh? Just the 7 acres. Yeah.
The writing house.
Yeah.
No, y'all proceed. I'm going to look for this work tape.
Yeah, you just join the conversation whenever you want.
I'm going to really get her.
So is the writing from acting, singing, and everything, like, is the writing, is that your biggest love? Because you do so many things, like, or is it just mixed in there with everything else?
You know, it's where it started for me, and it's where I originally found the voice to tell the stories that I grew up on in country music and contribute to that storytelling. So I definitely do, the writing is one of my favorite pieces. Of course, the, you know, performing aspect and getting to connect with people is great, but it definitely, for me, starts with the writing. And then the rest of it, you know, the acting stuff and anything like that. I was in California briefly because, and I say briefly, because my grandparents were there and we wanted to spend some time with them, especially after, you know, coming back from Europe and being in Arkansas for a long time. We did a little pit stop in California. And I keep expressing, like, pit stop. We were there a very short amount of time. Notice the tell there. But I went to a school with a lot of other actors, kids, and people who were in the industry just because it was the private school that was close. It was truncated hours. So honestly, they understood me going back and forth and writing in Nashville and, doing the things that I was doing. And so it was just kind of what other people were doing. And, you could go and audition for something because you're in California. And for me, it's like a public speaking exercise before you have access to those classes and ultimately college and what becomes life. You have to practice these things. But for me, I just thought it was a great exercise in going to auditions and being rejected like you are in the music industry anyway. All of these things kind of add up to how it feels when you're on stage. There was rock things I did just to rock band stuff just to get on stage and get those reps and know more music, and some of the things that are online that I've done all were strategically to contribute to getting to do what I ultimately love to do, which is sing country music and stand on stage and practice to hopefully be good at it. So
you're very good at it.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
What do you think about the women in country music today? And
we've had this discussion.
In the state, it seems like it's all over the map. Women used to rule this market. They were great. And there still are some that are great, but I want to get your perspective on that. Like, what do you feel like? Is it a good spot? Do you feel like the women in this genre? Do you feel good about it? Do you feel like we're missing some stuff? What do you feel?
Ultimately, there's been a long period where, it ebbs and flows, but there was a long period, especially with writing, where I felt as though women were writing almost exclusively boy bashing songs at the same time that they were complaining about guys writing, back of the truck and drinking songs, which I don't really complain about because that's some of my favorite music. Maybe that's just me, but I think it's fine. But as they were complaining about that, I found that women were writing boy bashing music, and it's hard because the audience is still 50% men and women. You're still playing for everyone.
Let's name some names.
Name
I don't have any fun till we start naming names.
Well, I think for me, it became such a frustrating thing in the writing process when I was in the room and I was young enough where people were allowed to make assumptions about me, which they still do, which is fine, but depending on who you get in the room with. But now it's it's better. But you get in the room with people, and especially when I was really young and was bringing ideas to the table and melodies to the table and things that I was working in my time on and was excited to bring. I remember this one writer came in. And he kind of rubbed his eyes after a couple minutes, and he was like, shoot, I came in here super hungover and had some teeny bopper tracks ready to go for you because I thought this was just going to be a wham bam any other 15-year-old I was writing with, and I'm gonna actually have to work today and write a real song with you. And I remember being 15 or 16 and looking at him.
Who was it?
You can tell we're
not going to go beat him up. No, and it's funny because in the same breath that I'm complaining about it, there's a piece of me that understands where that's coming from, because so many of the women, kind of getting back to the question, is so many of the women at the time and even kind of carrying into now connect with audiences in a boy bashing negative sense. And I just think that there's so much more to talk about. I happen to think men are awesome. And I think that
Thank you.
You're leaning into you're welcome. I'm leaning into politics a little bit. That's where it gets into a culture thing, because you have to have a little bit of the commentary that it's gone too far down. On the pendulum has swung too far into culture hating men, and I think it's got to stop. And so, my little soapbox about that.
No, I saw a little clip you posted about that.
Yeah.
What'd it say?
There was some.
What did I do?
No, you weren't. You just posted it. It wasn't you.
Okay.
But it was a guy that was asking two girls, "What's more dangerous?"
Yes. Yeah. The
being
man
in a room
bear.
with a mass murderer, or being in a room with a straight white man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
And both of them said, "Axe murder all day."
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, these women around here are choosing the bear in those scenarios, and I don't really understand. And they don't like guns either, so they're really in a bad spot if that's their choice. But going back to women in country, I think that it hasn't it hasn't fully come around from that energy, and I've felt it, from when I was in that room at 16 to, from them assuming it was going to be just an easy loop right to even, now or a couple years ago where people don't know me that well and they think that I'm just going to want to write a really like estrogen heavy, boy hating or love song or whatever. And those are fine, but it's just not me. Like I like writing music that's got a little bit more grit to it.
Grit.
I see what you did. Grit. I know.
We need to make a T-shirt, estrogen heavy.
Well, a lot of the stuff that I was listening to and watching, based on your materials, a lot of just pro-America, flag, country, values, all that, So, and as I was watching it, I was thinking, there's just not a lot of artists, especially females or males, really, that sing about that content. Seems like it'd be right down the middle of what the country music fans want, but
they're not allowed
getting
to,
it through Nashville and out is a whole different story.
Absolutely.
So have you gotten flack from all of all she does is pro-American, pro-country, pro-people, pro-Christian, all this stuff. Do you get flack from that?
It's funny because within the industry, absolutely, but the arguments that people, that are available to people to say about me, I have music, I have a couple songs that are super America, but I have other music that's not. So they kind of hit walls a little bit. Like I see it happening. They want to say, oh, she's, too pro-America, but all of my songs, like my whole discography is not How to Love the United States 101. Right. So it's interesting because through a little bit of strategy and just a little bit of, hey, I see what the audience connects with. I see what they actually want to listen to and what I think they desire to hear on the radio. It's pretty simple. They want to turn on the radio and be able to listen to it with their kids in the car. They don't want to have to make a moral decision every time they go to pick a song. They don't want to get yelled at by, insert name here, I don't know, Maren Morris. Like they don't want that
That's
level of
one of our favorites.
Thank you. I figured that would be a welcome party here.
She's a regular on here.
She's a regular.
She's a regular on here.
Is there like a button? There's a money jar with that one, I feel like. But, of course you get the industry stuff, and I've dealt with it for a long time just because the corner that I came from on all of this was, hey, you need to take the American flag out of your Instagram bio, or you need to stop publicly working with veterans organizations. And this was during, the 2016 election and kind of thereafter. It started then. So for me, there was never the choice was presented really early, and it was never a choice for me because, when you have an agency that they're making all of their agents donate to Act Blue, or they're doing these outlandish things that, if it was on either side, you'd go, that's wrong, except for the fact that it, of course, if you're left leaning, that's okay. If you're pro-America or noticeably right leaning, it's a problem. So for me, I just said early on, well, this is who I am. And then I was going at that time from 2016 to 2020, I was going to Belmont University in business and political science. And I had a professor who decided that for whatever reason, even though I love school and I have gotten A's my whole life, comparative politics, he gave me an F. And
Alexis.
It was just, I know. You have to put in effort. This is the first thing when I called my mom and told her, I said, don't you have to try to get an F? Like, you have to not show up at all. My attendance, especially for touring at the same time, was really good. And so that for me kind of launched off and having to go back and forth and run it up, with meetings upon meetings to the president of the school. I realized that other kids, especially at that time in the state of the country, were going through the same thing. And ultimately, if they didn't have someone telling them, hey, it's okay if you have to push back on what feels like authority, you don't have to write papers you disagree with. You don't have to.
I don't want to interrupt, but just to make sure I understand it, this teacher or professor basically had different beliefs than what you did and decided, I'm putting an F on this paper.
Yes.
Or on this. That's unbelievable to me.
And the interesting thing is I wasn't sitting in this class going, I'm going to be super vocal and make sure this guy knows exactly where I stand. Yeah. I wasn't even doing that stuff. I was just trying to get by. It was hard because you're going through it with your music, you're going through it with having to make choices, Y'all know better than anyone, there's a whole other side of the entertainment industry, even besides politics, especially for female artists, where if you choose not to compromise yourself, if you choose not to make decisions that you see other people making, if you choose to not wear less clothes when asked to, I'm trying to say this as properly as I can, you those are actual sacrifices that you feel in companies with executives. It's a little bit different. I'd say different now, but it's less popular to be out and about that now, but it is a thing, and it was a thing certainly for me, that I wasn't going to bend the knee to any of that. So when you're going through all of that at the same time, you kind of go, all right, I have to make a choice here, because I'm clearly not going to be accepted if I don't do these things that I see other people doing, but this is what I love to do, and I won't be silenced about it either. So got this grade, knew that other people were probably going through the same thing, wanted to encourage people to be themselves, maintain their values, and ultimately that turned into political commentary, partnering with organizations that focus on educating the youth and speaking to youth and parents about how to move forward in this crazy environment.
Nice.
Wow. I can
Wow.
see her running for office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere down the road.
Okay, so that's interesting. Would you ever consider getting into politics?
She already is.
Well, you are.
Too late.
Kind of, but you're a little displaced.
I think that I live in a, I know people like to say never to these questions and leave it a little cheeky, but this is a tough industry. The political industry is a tough industry.
Can't even imagine.
And I think that ultimately, looking at the ins and outs of it, I'm really happy to be on the commentary and educational side. I love the Constitution. I love teaching people about the Constitution. I love informing people about their God-given rights, because it's not taught in schools anymore the way that it should be. Right. I know that I learned that from my parents, my grandparents, my grandpa that I call Papa. He served in the Korean War. I didn't learn about the Korean War in school. What's wrong with that?
Yeah. Right.
And so I'm really happy being on this side of things, and being a small leg of support to the political system, or not system, but to that realm of things. I'm happy in that spot, and if that ever changes, I feel like that's something I can assess as we go along.
Can you still run for office if you're a spy?
Now that's a great question. That's a great question.
I don't even know that
It was the elephant in the room.
I just don't know if I take you out of the room. I got to check it out. There's some rules we have here.
Someone had to take the air out of the balloon.
You got to say, I read that, and knowing you, it gave me a really good laugh. Because if you are a spy, you're a really good spy.
Yeah,
I should have taught classes,
spy.
honestly. Yeah. It's funny, and it's hard because it's in the thick of it now as of us recording this, and I like levity on it because I think that's the only way to deal with things. So I think it's there's elements of it that I think are truly hilarious. There are elements of it that I think are, you read these things about yourself and you go, it honestly makes you more sad that they're using photos and of memories that made you happy. They're clipping photos. There's a clip of a photo. Now I don't want to say this and everyone go, mean people go and hunt for it, but it's already up there. There's a photo of, my grandpa, who I was just saying I call Papa, who is passed on now. And they are going and hunting that photo down and putting it on the internet and, desecrating what it means to me. Or not means to me, but, what it means in the public specter, and trying to make a thing out of it and chase these things down, trying to find my family. And there's a photo of me and my dad on my first Halloween, and they clip this and put it online and try to make it, something horrible. And it's definitely a unique experience. There's not really a support group for this kind of thing, which is fine, but it's fascinating. But you're right. I mean, given the circumstances, I would have been doing a bang up job if that was the truth.
I was like, Kurt, maybe she's a spy. Because she's really good. No, it was just so funny. It was like,
and it's obviously, we can maybe,
it's
like
funny
you said,
over
bring
here.
some levity to it, but it's awful, I'm sure. And just to have those accusations is unfathomable.
Well, it's just, you feel bad of the whole circumstance. I feel bad that it's something, they're dealing with serious stuff up there in D.C. And the fact that I have to go, hey, this is also going on online. I don't want to bring that to him either, make it his deal. Of course, he's like, he's not bothered by it, by me bringing it, but it's just, it's been a very unique experience. I always thought that the left would cancel me, but apparently I was too educational and brought too many people over to our side, and it was the right thinking they'd found something instead. So
There's stupid people all over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
they're all over the place.
Yeah.
They hand that stuff out for free.
Wow. That's good.
It's amazing. Yeah. I mean, never underestimate someone's ability to be truly stupid. It will blow your mind.
I agree.
You know?
And it's always like, the internet's meta. If you're looking for it, it's there. Like, and then people go off and riff and they'll go
So,
down the path.
I guess just talking about that a little bit, I mean, you didn't mention Kash by name, but you referred to Kash. And obviously we've been friends with Kash for a while, and we've known you for a while now too. Were you prepared for the scrutiny or the eyeballs that were going to be on you since he became the FBI director?
I mean, how much can you really truly prepare for that?
Yeah, you can't. Like you said, there's no support group.
Yeah, and y'all know that I've been a public facing person for a long time. Been on the internet, been posting conservative educational videos, and you put yourself out there and you expect a certain level of interest, pushback. I always joke that all of this was not on my bingo card when we first started dating almost 3 years ago now. That wasn't really hey, this is the life plan. You don't really sign up for the whole thing, but you do sign up for the long haul, whatever that means. And I like to I like to say that if his life goal was to sell ice cream, I would help him scoop it. Like, it doesn't matter to me what the dream was, but his thing is providing justice and transparency to America and keeping everyone safe. And so that's what I want for him too. And so it's funny with the swearing in, with all the stuff that kind of came with it. The funniest part about that thing for me is two things. I was detained at the White House because I didn't have my badge, first of all, to try and get over to the EEOB. I had his phone, so I couldn't call him. So there was that. And my phone was dead also. And then there's the whole element of my phone was dead. So when we went up there and did the swear-in, my phone was dead for the next hour and a half. I had no knowledge of where it was, if it was on the news, didn't even think about it, went and did it. We went to the, after little food and bev thing, and then that was that. And I finally charged my phone, and that was, I realized that it was in fact on things. So not really prepared, but you do all you can to support the people you love in any arena, in any event, and that's
absolutely
what it's been.
And we tell everybody, we're you guys are so awesome. So great, such great people. Kash comes hang out, you come hang out with us, and you guys are the best. I tell everybody, Kash is one of us. I always where are the Kennedy files though? I mean, I get telling him, gonna get you liquored up at a show backstage, and you're gonna spill those pictures, man, and we're gonna figure it out. But no, he's so great, and me and Kurt joke a lot, before he's at the FBI, we would blow him up every day. We'd be texting about stuff, and I don't know if we should bug him today. I think he's kind of busy. Should we text him today?
You should always text him.
No, it's great though. You guys are both so great.
Thank you.
He was on the podcast last year, and of course we credit his appearance for him, elevating his role now to the FBI.
Absolutely.
That's how we got here.
There's no telling where you're going after this because you're already doing
You're
great.
going one or two
and
places.
Kash was doing great, but this podcast propels lives and careers.
There you go.
It just does.
There you go.
You're lucky you got in the queue.
Yeah.
There we go.
Early on.
I'm here. I'm
You're
happy
the
to be
lucky
here.
one.
Even though it
Clearly.
does
I feel
look
that
like
way.
in our research that you have done bigger things than this. I mean,
This
what
is
I
it.
saw, but it was on the computer. There's a lot of lighting.
This is the pinnacle. I mean, just really the window dressing is the rest of it. This is awesome.
You're handling it great. You don't seem nervous.
Kash did say though. I mean, he did say
Yeah.
it's one of the best ones he's ever been on. He said that, and
He did say
he wasn't lying.
No.
No,
He
well,
wasn't.
It is funny because he loves my stuff. He loves country music anyway, but he loves my stuff. His favorite thing is when he gets to come to a show or get to go to something that's mine that he's not working at.
Oh, I bet.
Because he just gets to, audibly goes, I just get to have a good time. He's very excited.
That's awesome.
So anything that's with friends, people that are in this different space than he's used to existing in. And again, to emphasize friends, it makes him very happy. So
he's so great. I mean, we were in Vegas last year. Aldean was opening up his new bar.
Yes,
we were there.
Yeah,
and we see him backstage, and he walks up and hands me my signed Tom Brady jersey.
That was nice of him to do for you.
That he told me he'd get when he came to a show.
Kash, where's my jersey?
Yeah. Anyway, Kurt, no, it's like, that's the kind of guy he is, though.
Yeah.
Like he said, like a few months earlier, he's like, man, you want a Tom Brady jersey? I'm like, yeah, I do. And I think I'd like, whatever, might get it, might not. There it is in a bag. That's how he is, though.
Yeah.
Like
Gotta put it up there right up with Manning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would never put the Brady jersey next to the Manning jersey.
Well, it had to be on the opposite side.
We got to take the Manning jersey down.
Yeah, you might do them on
because-
opposite sides.
Because Tully says that Peyton Manning out of nowhere is overrated.
There we go.
Peyton Manning is overrated.
It's been a running thing,
we
Alexis.
cheered that with Kirk Herbstreit said he disagreed. He kind of
What
agreed
does
with
Kirk?
both
What
of
does
us.
Kirk know?
That's what he does for a living. He knows.
We love you, Kirk.
I think
Love
he
you,
knows
Kirk.
more than us.
Wait, so are you're a Patriots fan?
Yes.
Are you from Massachusetts?
I am from the Vermont area. So, like, if you go, do you know where, like, Burlington, Vermont would be? Probably not. No,
Yeah.
no one does.
I was born in Weymouth.
Okay, so if you go across
wow.
Lake Champlain, you go into, like, Plattsburgh, New York, which is the tip, kind of the northern tip of New England.
Okay.
So it's kind of right on the edge of New England. And so you get all the Sox games and, Pats and Bruins. So,
Makes sense.
yeah, it's a running thing right now with the Brady I mean, no contest between Manning and Brady, though. We know that.
Of course.
I'm just saying that.
Never has been.
I'm just saying Manning, to be clear, isn't in the top 10. That's all I'm saying.
Anyway,
Top
that
10's
sounds like
good.
a good one. Let's.
Top 10's good.
Are you a Razorback?
She agrees
I
with
am
me.
a
But
Razorback.
she's a Razorback.
I am a Razorback.
Oh, you
Yeah.
are a
Big,
Razorback.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we're big.
They got her when she went to Arkansas. They
Yeah.
got her.
My name is Glenn Story. I'm the founder and CEO of Patriot Mobile. And then we have 4 principles. First Amendment, Second Amendment, right to life, military and first responders. If you have a place to go, put your money, you always want to put it with somebody that's like-minded.
Of course.
I think that's the beauty of Patriot Mobile. We're a conservative alternative.
Don't get fooled by other providers pretending to share your values or have the same coverage. Go to patriotmobile.com/smalltown to get a free month of service when you use the offer code SMALLTOWN or call 972-PATRIOT.
You know what goes great with small town stories?
Original Glory, America's beer right here.
I've been drinking this every songwriting session today.
Man, that clean, crisp taste reminds me of summer nights on the back porch after a fresh mowed lawn.
And they're just not making great beer. They're investing in America's small towns.
Well, it's just like us. They believe in bringing communities together.
Not only do they invest in communities, but a portion of each sale goes to the veterans and the first responders and all the heroes that protect us.
For a limited time, you can become a member of the OG fam and invest in this beer at wefunder.com/original brands.
Join our Original Glory family and help ignite that Original Glory spirit. What
yeah.
years were
Fayetteville
you
got
in
her.
Arkansas?
Oh gosh, I was in Arkansas. We moved there. The funniest part about this whole thing, and going back to the internet stuff, if we can for a moment, is that people's favorite diss right now is that it just doesn't make sense that she was in England and then she was in Switzerland and then she moved to Arkansas. Like, they're just really offended by the fact that
I will say that doesn't make a ton of sense.
I know.
that is a culture. We were just in London. I got to tell you, if I'm at London, I don't want to go to Hot Springs, Arkansas.
You don't? See, I
not
like,
really.
Ain't bad.
I love Europe,
I don't
but
know. I mean, I like London though. But if I'm going from London and being dropped into
Well,
Little Rock,
we're not going to drink tea in London.
Don't let
and
Tully
go-
sideline you there.
I liked Arkansas so
London.
much. Like more, it's like my favorite place I lived. I still
Interesting.
go
Yeah.
back to Arkansas, see friends. We've kept doctors there. We've kept some of our best friends there. We go back. I'm going there, soon. Like, I love Arkansas. So the funniest part to me is, while it might not make a lot of geographical sense, I was, again, born in Weymouth, moved to England when I was little, learned to speak there, had a British accent, moved to Switzerland.
Really?
can you fire
Can you
some
do
of
the
that
rest
off
of the
real quick?
podcast?
Oh, man.
That.
Yeah.
Wow.
Moved to Switzerland.
We never had a foreigner on here before. This is
okay.
exciting.
Hello. No, if I do too many accents, because it's flimsy with the Southern thing, because I have to flatten it out for news so that people can understand me in commentary, but it lilts. So I already have to flatten it out. But if I do too many accents,
I want to hear.
They're going to go.
That plays into the spy thing.
With the British
all the
accents.
Exactly.
She's got way too many accents. She's got to be a spy.
So I went to an international school in Switzerland
I can see the
because
suspicion.
we were there for my dad's work, and then we moved to Arkansas, and that was that. I was 7 when we moved back stateside, and so I was in Arkansas, and I loved it.
Where is Rogers, Arkansas? I think we're playing there this week.
Is that the Walmart home?
Oh, cool! Yeah,
I don't know
the amp.
I don't know where that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that's like 15 minutes from Fayetteville, from where I'm from.
Oh, it is?
Has Kash ever been to an SEC football game?
Has he ever been to one? I'm sure he has. I haven't gotten him to a Razorback game yet. I've gotten him to Fayetteville, though. Yeah, he's gotten to come home, meet everybody.
Okay.
Tully's never been to an SEC football game.
Really?
Has.
No?
It's coming.
Yeah.
I'll go.
You had either at first, I think it was one of your posts, and you're at a desk, and there was you had something mounted above you, and at first I thought you said bison. So that's my bison, and then later in another one, it looked like you're in the same spot, but it was a hog, right? So, but it was mounted. It's a mounted head. What's the story on that? Most girls that I know wouldn't have a mounted wild beast.
So the bison's actually a fun story because I love shooting. I big 2A advocate, obviously, big shooting fan. Shoot, skeet, whatever. But I don't kill big game. I just haven't. It's not a choice. I just have not done it.
Yeah.
And so for me, I wanted a bison hung in my house so bad. And this was a couple years ago now. And I wanted a bison. And I knew that was a design choice that I wanted to make. Wanted to have a bison head. I thought they were so cool. I thought they were so cute. I was like, I gotta have a bison. But I didn't want to go on a whole bison hunt and just do the whole ordeal. I was trying to find one. And so my mom found this guy in Chattanooga that had, random taxidermy. We actually weren't, I don't think, going for a bison head. We were going for, wait for it, a squirrel dressed up as a cowboy. Oh. Yes, we drove to Chattanooga.
I'm confused.
That does sound amazing. Did you get that?
I did acquire that, yes. I got a chipmunk dressed up as a cowboy, too.
Yeah, I'm from Chattanooga. You can find a lot of interesting things.
Yeah, they had raccoons dressed as cowboys in kayaks. It was really, it's an amazing place. Honestly, it's great. And I was at Disneyland. That was my Disneyland. And I go, man, if you ever get a bison in, you have to let me know. I've always wanted a bison. And he goes, I have a couple in the shed.
No
I was
way.
like, show me your bison. So I walked, there's a photo somewhere, I will find it for y'all, of me walking, carrying my own bison head back to the car, and Mom and I set off with my bison.
So you just went in the shed and just killed it right there?
That'd be a lot cooler, but I just picked from a couple. I was like, this one looks the happiest, so we're going to take him.
That's amazing.
And so I took my bison head home. And then the hog, actually, I think was from the same place, wasn't it? Yeah, was from the same place because it was, I think, coming up on Father's Day, and I thought because we like the Razorbacks. My dad's a Razorback fan, too.
Makes sense.
Contrary to the internet, he's not 95 years old. So I thought it would be hilarious if we got him a hog and hung it in our house. And
What are bison heads
cool.
going for these days?
I cannot remember
No,
what
I want
paid
to know
for
what you
it.
paid for a mounted bison head. That cannot be cheap.
She probably signed an autograph.
Cannot be cheap.
I did not. I paid full price. What's it like? I think it was like, it was like
That's not
1,500,
bad.
1,600.
That's actually
Wow.
not
Pretty
bad.
good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I was like, it was like 1,600 too.
Hold
in
on,
that
mounted
range.
and everything?
Yeah, it would have been
Mounted
cheaper than
everything.
the actual.
How
hunt.
much for a full bison mounted?
I don't know. I have to ask that restaurant in Fort Worth that has the bison
That's a
butts
Ted. That's
on
a
the
Ted
wall.
Nugent question.
Yeah, we do need that picture, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I mean, sure, she's looking for it right now.
we
She's-
definitely need that.
My mom just sent it
that's
to me.
That's a good price.
Our tech support just. I feel like this sweet man, his name's Kelly. I feel like
we definitely need
this sweet man cut me a little bit of a deal because I bought so many doggone chipmunks and
Yeah.
squirrels that were dressed up as cowboys.
So what are the chipmunks? What do
actually
they go for?
amazing.
Like 150,
I think
200?
it was like 150,
That
200.
is below market
we-
value in my world for a
Well, you know what
stuffed
they
squirrel,
use them for. They get those
That's
things. Let me see. Oh yes,
Yeah, we're gonna get
that's
that.
awesome.
I'll send
so our
that
listening
to you.
audience can
Yeah, we're
see.
gonna need
Yeah.
that.
They're easy
I'll
to
send it in.
they're easy to plant little cameras in, and you set them around your house. Spies do
Little
it.
chipmunks.
Oh yeah,
Spy
put 'em in
chipmunks?
and their little
Spies
mouth.
buy little rodents and put cameras in them and put them around their house.
I feel like the type of spy that I'm being accused of, though, does not use rodents as their...
No.
Yes, a different
Yeah,
kind.
it
I'm
seems
talking
like
about
it would
different-
be a lot
Yeah.
more classy than that. Yes.
You'd be
I don't
like,
know that I would be,
Yeah,
but
I picture
Yes.
you if you were a spy, like a
this is going to play so
No, this
well.
is so
no
good.
total
This is
like
fantastic.
I picture you like the James Bond movie type spy. Like I don't want Kash to get mad at me, but like leather
He's not going to get mad at you for this.
sunglasses, like some badass spy. It's not
Thank
like
you.
not like a scared spy, but like a good spy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, he won't get mad at you.
get stuff done.
I'm not giving the sleeper cell impression. I'm giving the like,
Yeah.
and I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you.
That's James Bond type movie stuff.
I will take
Mission
that,
Impossible
thanks.
type stuff. You know what I mean? Those kind of spies.
I love it.
Hanging
Yeah.
out in Paris.
Well, while we're on Kash, just for a 2nd
Mm-hmm.
can we ask? And it could be an uncomfortable question for you. I don't know, but
Way to
it's
go,
kind of
Kayla.
everywhere. So people talk about y'all's relationship and everything. There's a difference and everything, and I was just kind of curious. You know, like what is the height difference in you two? And is it a lot? Is it 18, 19 inches? You know, I wasn't
I
sure.
love that. That's so funny. It's not where I saw that going.
Yeah, Kayla's good at that.
Anyway,
good.
I just didn't know if you want to talk
That's
about
good.
that. There's a lot on that.
It's been weighing on his mind.
Let's talk about
Look, I get it. I'm very
Yeah.
short. You know, people
Okay.
think that often I meet people and they go, I thought you'd be taller, which I
People
say
say
thank
that
you.
to me a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the time.
I'm 5 foot, like on my tallest, like standing up straightest. So.
Let's get back to us for a while, right?
Do you? I mean,
No,
get
the
back
four
to
of
you?
us.
Or-
No, the four of us. Because before we knew Alexis, I did see you gave a few interviews, and they were asking you about Try That in a Small Town. What your thoughts were on the Jason Aldean song? You always had our back. This is
Yeah.
Aw.
this. I think that it was before we knew you, but you always
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
the back of the writers of that song, and of course Jason as well. Do you remember what your impression of the song was when you first heard it, and then the reaction to the reaction?
I do. I remember hearing it and being grateful that people were starting to write the kind of music that I was writing and wanted to write, because I thought, okay, this means that I don't have to stay in a small corner, and I can continue to write with the people that I'm writing with, and I'm not going to get shunned, and I can, still write with people who are writing things that are on the radio, and I'm not going to, I'm not going to get chased out of town for it. This is exciting. This is promising for me, because I was going to do, what I was doing anyway, but just the fact that it had a shot at being mainstream acceptable was really cool. And I remember, I think it was at the same time that I was working on Stand, and I have a line in that is you can kneel anytime you like for the flag, but I'll never do the same. And so it made me feel better that okay, this is actually what people want to hear, and I'm not reading this wrong. And when I go out and sing for audiences and I get this impression, it's the right gut. And so that's how I felt when I heard the song. When I saw the blowback on it, I was like, people say like, oh, I was surprised. I was genuinely really surprised because I didn't think that the institutions, I knew that it was bad, but I didn't think that the institutions were at a point where they were going to get mad for individually footage in a music video or picking out a certain value or a certain line. Like I thought it would be more, I don't know why I was so surprised that the entities that I was dealing with were also doing this to, more mainstream artists as well. And I remember seeing the video get pulled from CMT, and that was the most surprising thing to me because everyone seemed okay with the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At
Up
the
until
outset
then.
is what I thought, and then at that point it felt like it flipped a little bit, and so I was surprised. But it also made me feel like I had people on my team, even though I didn't know y'all yet. So.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you always got our back, so
No, we were.
Thank you for
we
that.
were.
Yeah.
We were actually
absolutely.
elated when all the backlash started
Yeah.
because it was like, okay, people are fixing to stand up. And then CMT pulled it, and then I was like, this is awesome.
That's when it took off.
That's
when
it took off.
When
Kind of a
CMT
victory,
pulled it. It's kind of
honestly.
It was.
a Bud Light moment.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you mentioned
Yeah.
what you said it 20 minutes ago. I think you said something about playing your shows and seeing what your fan base wants. And what's crazy for us to still think about is our fan base loves Try That in a Small Town, but yet the people that are supposed to be in the industry here couldn't be more different.
Right.
CM country music television pulls it,
Right.
which
Yeah.
is funny just to say.
It's
But it's funny to say. But then we go out and play it for 20,000 people,
and they love it.
and they love it. But
Yeah.
country music television pulls it. So it's definitely was a weird time. I feel like
It was here. It was here in town because the whole time. I mean, even our publishers were like, they were kind of keeping their distance.
That's the thing that's bizarre to me when I look at the lay of the land when you actually go out on the road and, I'll sing my songs, I'll sing country back, I'll sing stand, I'll sing my stuff that's, like I said, not, overtly patriotic and it's just good old-fashioned country music. I'll cover courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue. And people could not possibly scream any louder, when they hear that song start or when they hear country back. Like, those are the songs that they come to my music accounts for. People, they hold up their Spotify or whatever and we're trying to show you that they're on your pages, and it's really it's awesome. It's really heartwarming because they're showing up. But even when you bring, I think what's weird to me about all of this stuff is you can bring business to people and they still look at you and go, I don't know if we want the business that you're bringing, which just doesn't make any sense to me because, and the environment obviously is changing a little bit now, which I'm grateful for, but it's still, you can be booking shows all year and, turning a profit or at least breaking even or doing the things that you can do and getting calls to where it's stressful to do yourself with your small team to book these shows and put them. And now we have a team now, it's great, but you get them on the calendar, you figure it out yourself, and you go, I could have an agent that could be doing this and would be happy that the schedule was full and that it doesn't compute for me that these people are willing to say no to business that's walking in their door just because it's business that they don't agree with. Like, I think half these people secretly do agree with it. They just, don't know if it's publicly acceptable yet, but I think we're turning the corner a little.
That's what we always said. Our publishers, if they didn't have any trouble taking the money. So that's always been my main bitch about the whole thing. Is like, it's your right to disagree with it.
Yeah.
But disagree with it publicly, then take the money, profit from it. Mm-hmm. That's classic left.
It is
big.
It's true.
It is. It is.
It is
classic left.
Well, and with your, I know you've got your team, and you've got your songs out, your videos, and all the things. Have you, or are you currently pursuing like major record label deals? Because you're mentioning going and meeting with people, bringing them your business. Are you still pursuing that, or you want to continue doing things on your own? Where are you set with that?
It's interesting because, like I said, there's a bit of a temperature change, and I think that people are starting to see the way that America is reacting and ultimately be more open to it. I've been pursuing this whole thing in my own ecosystem, realizing that I kind of had to go my own road, as of 2016, 2018, 2020, of course, and kind of all the path that's led me here. That was okay, Alexis, if you want to retain your morals, you're gonna kind of be on your own road, and if someone wants to reach back and help you, if someone wants to, know that you stand for the right things and get on your team for that reason, awesome. But other than that, you're kind of going to be going this thing alone. But I think that the temperature has shifted in the last little bit, and while this is a operating kind of machine that we've been doing a long time by ourselves, I would absolutely be open, if someone wanted to collaborate now. Absolutely. I just wouldn't necessarily want to, I wouldn't do it at the compromising of my voice or what I do, especially if I'm getting to do and say and put out what I want now.
I think you got enough momentum going right now on your own. I would keep.
How many shows?
I would keep doing it on your own.
How many shows a year do you do? Like, how many shows, like this year or last year? Like,
Oh gosh.
You're on the road. Like how many? I always wonder because you're always on your Instagram. I mean, you're
you're
busy.
everywhere. Yeah.
So how do you like? How many like performances are you doing? You think?
It's hard because last year was so much anthems for campaigning things or for just patriotic or political things in general, whether it's a fundraiser or a fundraiser for campaign or whatever it might have been. So much of the road stuff was that in addition to shows that I was doing. And then, like I said, the temperature changed, and then it was kind of looked at as a good thing that I was standing in my values and doing what I was doing. So then the schedule this year has gotten busier, and it's hard to discern when we're on the road for an anthem or when we're on the road for a full show or opening for somebody.
You're still on the road. The road's the road.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, we're out most of the time, whether it's for me to, and now DC is more of a normal thing, but last year meeting up with Kash during the campaign, us making our schedule work this year has been an adventure, and that's it's always back and forth too, which is good. I mean, ultimately, and I'm out of town a lot, so it makes a whole lot of sense. But we're out a lot, honestly.
Yeah, great.
You do a lot of, or you did a lot of veterans hospitals, and I know the military is something that's very close to your heart. Your great grandfather was in World War II, is that right?
Yeah.
Your dad, the Korean War, you mentioned that. Talk a little bit about that and your appreciation for the military. And
yes. So it started, like most things in my life, with learning about history. And my papa, my grandfather, who served in the Korean War, alongside my parents, they always made sure that I had a grasp of not only where I came from, which I'm Armenian, and so my family fled the Armenian genocide. So it was learning about the Ottoman Empire, governmental structures, different wars that were fought, really what we had to go through, and not just we, but what people have to go through to get to the United States and to pursue this idea and this dream that is America. And so for me, I had a very strong grasp on what was important and what people were what men and women were going overseas or even here domestically and sacrificing their time and blood and sweat and tears for. And so I had a really good idea of what that looked like early on. And then it became, when I started looking more into the cause and understanding everything that surrounded it, and doing my best to put myself in these incredible people's shoes and then writing with them, doing the creativettes and Warrior Round stuff where you go in, as you all probably know, songwriters are paired with veterans. You get to write and memorialize their stories. And that's one of my favorite things that I get to do as a writer and really performer too, because getting to see them, see their story, there's nothing like it. And so it's just kind of been a path of understanding what they've gone through, paired with understanding the appreciation that they don't get sometimes because it's either linked to politics or it's linked to, which it shouldn't be, or it's linked to time. I mean, I know that when I was going into hospitals regularly, especially pre-COVID, because there was a lot of different stuff after COVID, that you couldn't go into hospitals and all that jazz. But when I would say, hey, why isn't anyone signed up for, and I love the organization, it's hard because people who you love them as people, that they lean a little left and they don't like you because of it, and you feel it. And I don't think they think you feel it, but you feel it, so you don't get to go do things anymore, which sucks. But I still work with VA. I'm happy. I love the VA in general. But I was going, why aren't people signed up for the Veterans Hospital? Why isn't this chock full? You guys have this slot every Wednesday. Why aren't people all over this? And ultimately, God love them, it's because they wanted to go do, women's and children's, or they wanted to do the ones that had photo ops attached to them. And it just, it wasn't glitzy, it wasn't glamorous to go into the Veterans Hospitals. And I'm not sure why, because that's the coolest place with the coolest stories and the coolest people. But it wasn't what was being recognized for people to sign up. And so when I realized that there was a lack of appreciation that I could see tangibly, and not just, me going to go see, sing music for them, but hearing their stories echoed back to me, writing with veterans who were telling me about coming home after Vietnam and the things that they heard after the fact. And this one gentleman was telling me about his experience coming home from Vietnam was already awful. His sister didn't pick him up from the base. Nothing was really felt as it should be. And then years down the line, he heard that one of the Clinton aides, or I forget who it was. I used to know exactly who it was, but it's been a minute. One of the aides said on the news, we sent the smart guys to Washington and we sent the dumb guys to Vietnam. And the fact that that's a soundbite that these men and ultimately men and women have to go back and listen to is despicable to me. And that's the stuff that we're hopefully building a culture to war against. And then, you do that research, you understand where that comes from. It, of course, bleeds into understanding law enforcement, the lack of appreciation there, and then going through 2020, seeing defund the police, all the crap that we've had to witness, and understanding what our brave men and women, both here at home and overseas, have gone through, it's just been eye-opening and really gross to see, specifically my generation, honestly, to not appreciate at all. They'll fight for the authority of a teacher to tell you that your kid should change their gender, but they won't fight for the authority of someone who goes out in the streets every day, not knowing what they're going to encounter and if they're going to come home to their family. So yeah. I just, that work is the most important work that I'll get to do. And I opened a foundation called the American Heroes Foundation.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm doing what I call the Back the Badge tour. And while it is a cohesive tour, it's a cohesive tour in the sense that I'm turning every single city I go to, whether it's for a national anthem, a speaking engagement, any other reason I have an appearance or an actual tour date, and we're going to go visit police offices and sheriff offices and departments and tell them, thank you for what you do. Try to help them out with something. We're working on the supplies aspect because I want to be able to offer something. And that's what we're doing.
Good on you.
That's great. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Wow.
And you do it with class.
Thank you.
Man.
What else? Anybody else got something, or should we let Alexis, live her life?
I was just going to say, sometimes you can tell when people are doing exactly what they're meant to be doing and what they love to be doing just by their face. You have a content, peaceful glow, and it's awesome. That you're very talented. You can do anything you want, and you really have. You've done so many things, but still to be so giving like that is really cool.
Thank you.
And so we really appreciate you. Appreciate you coming by here for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well,
even though you're definitely going to get something out of it because this is a huge podcast.
But it's crazy though. She's been doing it since 6 years old.
I know, right?
I know. I know.
So it's kind of
we've
like
been
your
saying
calling.
we're gonna get guests on here that are not smarter than us, but we failed again.
Failed.
Yeah, we're failing
miserably tonight.
We're 0 for 56.
Stop.
We really missed tonight.
I joke that, and I feel like most people, my mom included, would agree with me that I'm. I joke that I'm old man, shaking my fist from my porch because I've been doing this so long. But even though it's just because I started really young, and because my own generation, they need some assistance. So when we say I've been doing this for a long time, people probably don't think 6, but that's why I'm an old man shaking my fist from my porch at these young kids.
You've got some good DNA, because I always think there's a hardwiring to people, that's interesting.
Hey, Lois,
very good.
Very well spoken, man. You can't even get better than that. That was excellent.
It was.
How do we wrap it up?
And you know where to go when you want to get a song going.
Hey,
Yep.
let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's
You know where to
get
go.
at it.
We're very appreciative.
Yeah,
of
thank you very
Alexis.
much.
We know your time's valuable, and we love you. Keep
No, this
doing
was
what
fun.
you're
I
doing.
needed this week. Thank you.
All right, Alexis Wilkins.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
so much.
Thank you.
Yay! Thank you.
call Megan
Y'all are
Papa,
awesome.
thank you.
That was impressive.
Yeah, she's impressive.
that was
Alexis,
great.
oh my gosh.
Class.
Really fun. I learned a lot, and I'd done quite a bit of research, but I learned a lot of things about her I didn't know. She's sharp.
Very
She's
smart,
sharp and so
well-spoken.
intimidating.
I know.
I mean, in a nice way, though. But yes.
6 years old talking about reading this. So what is it?
Yeah.
Smithsonian.
Yeah,
It's like I didn't even know there was a
How many
magazine.
syllables are in that? Smithsonian.
Yeah, I know. I'm watching Hee Haw when I was 6. I'm not reading the Smithsonian. I'm watching Hee
How
Haw.
did you like Hee Haw? Was it?
No, Hee
Haw's amazing.
No, Hee Haw was.
It was for the music, right?
No, it wasn't.
Mainly.
No, I used to be at my grandparents' house, and I'd be sitting on the carpet, the shag carpet.
Oh, the shag carpet.
Yep, laying down on my belly with my
so
hands under my
soft.
chin, my cute little chin, like this.
Did you?
And I'm not watching. I mean, the whole time I'm like, it's like my first like love experience.
Yeah.
Miss Goodbody.
You're
and
talking
all
about Miss
the other-
Goodbody.
It's like, and it's like they didn't have a clue that's the only reason I watched Hee Haw.
Oh,
was
they
for-
had a clue.
They didn't show it. They're just they're back there smoking cigarettes and.
Little Neil sure is into this.
You know, and they think that I'm learning and cutting my teeth on country music with Hee Haw, and I'm not.
Meanwhile, Neil's laying face down on the carpet. And he seems to be levitating.
Little Neil's levitating.
It's like
He's gifted, Marge.
seriously though. I mean, that's like I watched Hee Haw for the ladies, for Miss Goodbody and the other ones, and I was like, that's
really
when I learned
funny.
I wasn't gay. Hee Haw. Thank you, Hee Haw.
Thank you,
Yes.
Hee Haw.
Yes.
I think this new studio brings out a different side of us.
Yeah, well,
love it.
I feel very good here.
Yeah,
I do too.
The
I feel-
E-Spaces.
E-Spaces.
Yeah. I love it.
It's
love it.
One's a really cool building, and it is kind of cool to get out, even though the studio where we were, which is Neil's writing room and house, was great. It's great, but it feels like we're got a garage band, then we're
Yeah, we kind of
got our first-
graduated.
moving
we
up,
got our
yeah.
first gig.
We finally got
You
a
know?
van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It is nice.
Feels good.
there's coffee and
Got our
little
stuff on the
espresso
wall.
stuff, and
Yeah,
You
we
know?
think it's free. We're probably going to get a bill.
I don't know, but I'm sure thankful for it. It's
I
an
am
awesome
too.
place. I love these spaces.
Thanks, Pirtle.
Yeah, seriously.
John
it's been
Pirtle, thank you,
awesome
buddy.
here.
Thank you.
Also, we got Patriot Mobile, another one of our sponsors. These guys are
Yes.
awesome. We were just talking about this. And I've got this on my phone. I don't know if you guys know this. First of all, go to Patriot Mobile. I think Dakota's small town. They'll give you a free month, so you need to check this out. Like, I have AT&T on my phone. You can also get another carrier on your phone as well. So AT&T, bad service. I just go over to T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Boom.
So no different number. You've got two lines.
It actually is a different number, but if I text you from that number, it comes up as me.
comes up the same.
So-
Oh, cool.
So in
It-
my contact, from either way, it comes up.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
And it's awesome. We're on the road a lot. We're in buildings that don't have service, and then like, oh, hey, I got it. So we encourage
That's awesome.
everybody to check that out as well. Original Glory.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
kind of
Taste
the
of
OG,
summer.
no pun intended.
They're the OG.
Big time.
And they got. Have y'all tried the beer mosa that they've got?
You've talked about that before, but I
It's
haven't.
good. It's really good. You know, I mean, they got all kinds of stuff. But anyway, that's the last.
Is it a
thing I
morning
had.
drink?
Well, I had it on the way here, and it's no, I'm kidding. Yeah, I mean, I think it's good any time of day. But if you want to pigeonhole it, sure, morning would be fine. You know? But anyway, that's great. And we got other stuff too. I will say, I know we have another sponsor to talk about, but when you picked up the phone, it reminded me. This is you have all kind of scams going on. This is a really clever scam. Somebody sent it to me. So somehow you have somebody that can call you, and it will come from, like, for example, Tully's wife Alyssa would call you, and you would see it'd be her picture and her name, whatever you have.
I've heard about this.
That's her, and the person on the other end will say that they've got her, and if you don't send so much money or whatever, then
Yeah, kidnap your wife.
Yeah, the kidnap.
It's like legit.
It's just
and
unbelievable.
what you
Really?
think,
Yes.
and especially people are busy, and you're like, and you look and like, if that's my wife, it's
It's
just like
legit.
Rachel, and I say, well, damn, it's her. It's her phone. How's that guy have? You know what I mean? So anyway, that's a brand new one, and they're getting a lot of people. And
Guys,
it's a
that's
scary
scary.
one because
It
it's
is
so
scary.
clever, because that would freak people out. So anyway, I just want people to be aware of that, because that's one that could
Public
get
service
a lot of people.
No.
Yeah,
Very
big
good.
time.
So watch out for that.
Thank you, Kalo. I
Yeah.
did not know about that.
Yeah, a lot of twisted people out there.
Do we have, who else we need to talk about?
We've got the wellness company.
Yeah.
Which that's great. Neil, you want to talk about the wellness
I
company?
just
for a
got two
second?
new. I
You
just
got two new.
Two new kits in the mail.
You did?
Oh,
Okay.
heck yeah.
We got to get the kits on the road,
You
man.
kidding
we
me?
got essentials.
Yeah.
You got to have
Y'all
it.
should have a kit in every bunk on the bus. The whole tour, every bus should have kits.
Well, you're
'Cause
right, dude.
They could. I mean, it's going to save the show. I'm serious. I mean, it's like when I got my kits in the mail, I was like, we're set, Lana.
Yeah.
We're set.
Dude, you're 100% right. I mean, we'll be out there, and if somebody does get sick, they call it the rock dog. That's what they say. They bring somebody in to give you a steroid shot or whatever. I mean, it's all right there.
Yeah.
It's in the pack. It's in the kit.
Yep.
Just have it there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if I get a yeast infection, it's right there.
I hope you don't get a yeast infection.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, and it's
think he does have
it's
a
very
yeast
difficult on a Sunday to get a gynecologist to come out on the road on the butt.
If I decide to transition, I'm covered.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess guys can get yeast infections too. It's just
Sorry, you guys walking in on that part.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but we can edit that
It's
part.
fun.
But anyway,
our listeners love us.
well, one of our listeners brought up a pretty good point because in one of earlier, I'd said that I kept one of my glove boxes, which I did, but somebody that said, hey, doesn't it get hot and like if you're Z-Pack and stuff like that, is that bad for it? I don't know if it is or not, but it seemed like it's a pretty good point. I don't think I need the Z-Pack in my glove box.
Room temp.
Hey, can I ask a question?
Got to be room temp. Don't keep it in the car.
Yeah, it was a great point. So we listen, listeners. We listen.
Does anybody keep gloves in the glove box?
I have them in my.
Why do they call it a glove box?
In the summer?
Oh,
like all year round?
No, I'm just saying, why do they call it a glove box? Does anybody actually really keep their gloves?
I bet they used
That's
to.
a fantastic question, by
I
the
bet
way.
they used to. Which makes me think of a different thing, which is kind of the same. But what do you guys call, like in the bathroom when you flip on and you've got this blower fan, whatever? Do you call it a blower or a fan?
I say fan.
Fan.
I say blower. My dad always called it blower. He said, "Turn the blower on, son."
Really?
And remember, it was like a year ago when I said something. I said, "Yeah." I said, "I got to meet a guy over there. The blower's not working." He said, "What blower?" I said, "Well, in the bathroom, you turn it on, it's the blower." And he goes, "It's a fan."
That's a vent fan.
Anyway, I've always called it a blower, even though it doesn't blow.
Lana makes fun of me for calling a water hose a hose pipe.
It's not. Why would you? Call
I've
it a
always
hose pipe?
called it a hose pipe.
It's not a pipe.
It's a pipe.
Well, there's a pipe, but you
No,
attach the
it's
hose.
definitely
but you
it's a
attach
pipe.
the hose to it, so then it's a hose.
It's a hose pipe.
It's not a pipe.
And she makes fun of me. She's from
It's a
California.
hose.
I'm from Alabama. It's a hose pipe.
A hose and a pipe
Well,
are different things.
you moved east. It's a hose pipe.
But once you hook the hose up, it doesn't just become a hose then?
But it's still a pipe.
It's not a pipe.
No, it's
I don't know what
now
the
it's a
pipe
hose.
is.
But now it's a hose.
A pipe is a solid, hollow tube. A hose.
Solid, unbendable.
A hose. That's what makes it a
Unbreakable.
hose. Otherwise, it'd just be a hard pipe.
Well, we need to let our listeners decide.
No, I'm not even worried about that
What
one.
the definition of a pipe is.
And
Does
the
it have to
bathroom.
be flexible or does it have to be hard?
Wow.
You want that pipe hard.
Go to onlyfans.com and answer the question.
Oh man, I love this new studio.
Yeah. It is bringing out some stuff.
Yes.
Right on, gang.
I feel like we're more ourselves here. We're not confined.
All right, we better end
We're
it
out
on
in the
that.
wild. This is
Caleb
great.
called only blowers. He's
No,
a
we're-
Color fan.
we're-
Yeah,
you know,
onlyblowers.com?
We should
Yeah.
actually keep going. Our listeners are
Don't Google
they're
it.
pulling off the road right now, laughing.
so.
Come on.
Thank you. We got to thank Alexis Wilkins for being a part of this.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. Thank
Hopefully
you.
she doesn't listen to this part of the
I know, right?
conversation. She was awesome.
Yep.
Thank you to all the sponsors. Of course, go to YouTube, leave us a comment, do all that kind of stuff. Download the episodes.
Download.
Please.
Please.
We thank all of you. I got TK. I got K-Lo. I got the Thrash.
We got fun,
Got the
dude.
do.
Come on. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening. This is a Try That in a Small Town podcast.
Make sure to follow along, subscribe, share, rate the show, and check out our merch at trythatinasmalltown.com.